Dan has asked me to do Dypius new, so that's why I was going to do Dypius. Right. Let me have a look at Dypius. All right, this is a request. Everyone is welcome to make requests. So let's come back to Bitcoin and let's go straight into Dypius. I have no idea what this is, so I'm going to have a Google. Dypius. What is Dypius? DYP token migration is now live. Easily migrate your old DYP tokens from Ethereum BNB chain and Avalanche to the new DYP version 2 token on Ethereum. Don't know what that means. Dypius migration, migrated tokens. It's amazing. You come to their site, you have no idea what it is. All right. Metaverse world. So DYP is a metaverse world, apparently. The Dypius metaverse is becoming a reality. An innovative platform that redefines the gaming industry by implementing cutting-edge technology. Oh! Users will get access to an immersive experience unlike anything available in the market today. Oh my God. Whoever wrote that needs to be shot, basically. It's amazing. You come to their website and there's no clue what it is. Literally. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm just like, just fresh eyes coming onto their website. It's pretty rubbish, huh? Unless I've got the wrong website. And look, they've got Dypius.com and Dypius Finance. Let's see what the finance is. Oh, it's the same site. Let's have a look at their Twitter. All right, here it is. Dypius is a powerful, decentralized ecosystem with a focus on scalability, security, and global adoption. Okay, creative World of Dypians. Okay. This is what's interesting. This is what I wanted. The World of Dypians. Experience unique gameplay and explore a world without end in a quest to form your destiny, backed by Dypius. And that's the website that I really want. The World of Dypians. Treasure hunt. Rewards. Oh, look at this. Daily rewards. Oh, look at this. You can join the beta program. Leaderboard. It's a pretty poor website, huh? Doesn't really give you any information. Explore. Specializing in combat, the warrior utilizes weapons, armor, and brute strength to conquer their enemies. Dan, literally, this is like the worst ever thing ever. Land. 1000 premium woodland genesis marketplace. Right, roadmap. Right, let's see what this is. Right. So let me see. Like, I'm not gonna like play it unless I can download it now and play it. Like, I just want to see how fast this is. Let me click on download. I'm going to chart the charts, and then I'm also going to try and download it and see how easy it is to do it within the time that I chart the charts. Right. I hope it doesn't destroy my internet connection. It's not that big. All right. So Dypius. So the World of Dypians is a game that's built on Dypius. Dypius is a cryptocurrency, but we don't really have much information about it because on their website Doesn't really give you much information. It's some sort of metaverse and some sort of governance. Some kind of decentralized ecosystem with a focus on scalability. So basically, it's just like everything else. We have a little roadmap. Oh, these are the guys making it. This guy is the CEO, Mihai Nikusor. I mean, I think they could do a really, like, honestly, they could do a better job to explain. It's very vague. But anyway, and it's been in existence since 2020, right? So let's head into the charts, have a look quickly. DYP. Actually, before I do that, I want to have a look at the markets. So they're on pretty much all the exchanges. Not all of them, obviously, but there's a bunch of them. So the price action on Dypius New goes back to 23 November. And I think the reason why is because there's another token called Dypius Old. So basically, I think what happened was they migrated from their old token to a new token. And I think it's because they were moving from different chain. And so this old one was launched basically at the height of the bull market. No, yep. So December 2020. So they launched in the height of alt season, and then it rallied all the way up to Feb, and then it dumped, literally dumped. It dumped at the peak of Ethereum pumping, basically. See that? You had a large amount of volume here coming in 21. But that was the end of the bull market, and then the rest just went flat. All right. That's the price action of this. And then if I have a look at the charts, let me go to the charts. Will it be old? No. See, I don't know if there's going to be all the charts. Look, KuCoin. Let me just try these and see. Have a look at all of these and see if I can find anything interesting. What's that total value as well? What is that? Oh my god. It's not a good sign. Total value locked. Okay, this is the chart that goes back from the beginning, pretty much. It goes, even though the token was launched in, that's it, this is the one. This Mexi one, I think that's the one. And is this new? No, this is when it ends. Yeah, this has got all the data pretty much. Let me have a look. So what, okay, so I'm going to explain this because I've seen this before. So I'm going to explain this to everyone who's watching my stream. Let me see. So on KuCoin, right. So this is Mexi, right? And I'm looking at the weekly time frame. Basically, it was launched according to this in the first week of July. Sorry, the week of the 18th of July on Mex. This is 22. This is wrong. Okay, my bad. This is the data I want. All right, so actually MEXC is incorrect too. All right, so it's not easy, huh? People aren't going to find it easy. So look, so based on what I'm seeing, the old token launched on December the 26th of 2020, right? And I can't find a chart that goes back to that date. Yeah. So on KuCoin, the earliest I got is March 21. And then MEXC, the earliest I've got is July 22. So actually MEXC is pointless. And then anything else that I'm looking for. Let me try Gate. What's that one? Let me try that one as well. Do they have Uniswap? It's Ether. AVAX. So let's have a look. Don't know what it's going to be. In October. No, that's useless. Oh my god, look at that. I'm going to keep this profile because is this the right one? Probably not. Well, I don't know. It says DYP. I'm going to keep this one because this is quite interesting and it gives us a bit of information. So we don't have the charts in USD going back to the beginning, right? The earliest we can go is when it was launched on KuCoin and Gate. And that was going back March 21. Pretty much both at the same time. Let me see which one is first. It's the 22nd of March. It's the 1st of March. So actually Gate has more information. So I'll keep the Gate one. And then this chart has a lot of information because it's the Uniswap chart. But this is paired against ETH. And so it still gives us insight because it has more information, but it's paired against ETH. It's not paired against USD. But it will give us a little bit of insight. Although it says here USD. Just have a look at this. Hold on. Just do a side-by-side comparison. Let me just see where these line up. Yeah, they see these. This is lining up quite well. See that? So we actually have more information here, and then even though it says wrapped ether, it is actually USD on the side here. So I think the most data you're going to find is on this one against wrapped on Ether on Uniswap. So volume. Yeah. But I'm not going to try it because you have these crazy wicks, and I'm going to actually explain to you what these wicks are in a second. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a 2-minute break because nature comes first. And then we're going to dive into the charts in 2 minutes. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, let me just get rid of this moving average. No need for that. Volume, yep. Let me just quickly, all right. So I'm looking at the weekly chart at the moment. Let me just link these because I want to actually, I wouldn't mind having both of them up. Just having a look at both of them. Oh God, I'm sneezing. Let me also have a look at the all-time high. So according to this, it's the all-time high is $5.05. So I will add that onto my charts. I'll rename that to all-time high. Let's have a look at all-time low. So that basically comes in at these lows in gate. Probably overextended a little bit, but according to this, it's the all-time low. So for all intents and purposes, these gate lows are correct. And then do the same thing here. Let's just put it here. I just want to see, because I know there's a variation in these charts, but I've got some useful information from this Uniswap chart, and I just want to share it. Copy that one. Okay. And high. Just enter that in there. Right. Oh God. So what I've actually done now is I've pulled the volume, and what you're seeing now in this blue, these two blue lines and these kind of bars on the left and this red line in the middle is the volume with respect to the price at those levels. So according to this on gate, the most volume of this whole range is at about 0.019. That's where most of the volume has been traded at, and that is called the point of control. I'll mark it off. Now here on Uniswap, most of the volume was at 0.7 roughly 295. So on gate, on Uniswap you have a point of control also. It's much higher. Okay. Now in Uniswap, the volume area, the value area is between these blue lines. That's the lowest one is called the value area low. The higher one is called the value area high. And basically the value area is where 70% of the volume lies, and that's called the value area. And that's basically the fair price for this token. 70% of the volume is the fair price. Anything outside of that area is either overpriced or underpriced. And sometimes the price is underpriced, but it creates volume lower down, and then the value area moves down. So that's something also to bear in mind. And right now, the value area low on Uniswap is here. roughly about 0.28. And obviously here on gate, it's right at the bottom. So we don't need to mark that because it's right at the all-time low. On gate, you have a lower value area. And now the value area on Uniswap is basically near the all-time high. It's the value area high. And then here on gate, the value area high is somewhere about 0.17. So these are very important levels. And it's good to mark them because naturally all of these levels will act as support and resistance as the price comes into these levels. So that's the first thing to observe. We have different values. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the data from Uniswap and put it onto Gate and then just chart on Gate, right? Because I want to keep these levels, but I want them on my other chart, on this chart. So the point of control here, I don't really want to chart on two charts, but I will go over the price action because I do see something, I want to explain it. So this is 0.732302. So that's the point of control. 0.7295. That I'm going to rename that to Uniswap point of control. I'm going to mark this value area high just because it's slightly lower than the all-time high, and that is up here somewhere. And that is called the Uniswap value area high, and the coordinates are 3.997, thereabouts. So we have that, and then the value area low. We're at the value area low now. And again, exactly the same thing. I'm gonna, the coordinates of that are, I'm gonna copy it across. All right. No, where did it go? That was a mistake. What happened? Okay, so there's something going on here. Have I made a mistake? I'm wondering if this is even the correct one, actually. This is DYP. It's DYP yield protocol. This is interesting because this is different price and this is much lower. There's Dypius. That's really difficult to do this because this probably isn't the right chart. Can you believe it? It's probably not the right chart. Do we have a Uniswap one for DYP? No, DYP yield. The icons the same? The icons look the same, huh? Look, Dypius, look at that icon and that icon. They look exactly the same. See that? Pick the USD one. Yeah, USD. DeFi yield protocol. DeFi yield, DeFi yield protocol. What have I done wrong? Dypius. Doesn't actually say, huh? DYP, is it the same one? Look, it says Dypius. So DeFi yield protocol is now Dypius. See that? DeFi yield protocol is now Dypius. Continue to the new website. You see, you learn things by just having a look and seeing what's going on. So this is exactly the same. So basically what I'm learning is this is what it began as, and then it became something else. It used to be called the DeFi yield protocol, powered by Chainlink. See if it's the same people. Yeah, same people. Look. Not all of them the same. So this is correct. What's the latest data? Yeah. So I don't know why the values are so different. I can't explain that. I can't explain that at all. For some reason, this is different. These are different values. We're trading much higher on the DeFi yield protocol on Ethereum, on Uniswap than on Gate. But for all intents and purposes, the chart, so it's all correct here. This is all correct. I'm looking at it. All the way down to here is correct. Up to here is correct. Now this starts to go down. Look, there's a divergence from here. So here it diverges. And so this yield protocol is much higher. But look, see that? So in terms of the way the price moves, they're identical, and the numbers here on the first part of the chart were on point, and then from about this area here, which candle was it? That's the candle. That's it. So we're the same here. So basically, in December in 22, something happened where these charts separated, and the DeFi yield protocol started trading higher, even though the price action pretty much followed the same path. They're following the same path, but the DeFi yield protocol on Uniswap is trading higher. I have no idea why. I can't explain it. There's something going on. Also, there's no volume in all of this price action. Okay, so there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. And I think we can ignore all of this price action anyway. All of this price action we can pretty much ignore. The reason why you would ignore it, because there's no volume. You see, there's no volume here. Pretty much no volume. There's a little bit coming in, but it's relatively insignificant. So I think for all intents purposes, the thing I just wanted to note, I'm going to use the chart on the left, which is the gate chart, but I just think you should be aware that something happened in that week and I have no explanation, and I'm doing my deep dive have no explanation. So I think that's something to be aware of for anyone who's interested in this token. And then the other thing to be aware of, and this, I think this is more, for me, this is much more of a flag. You see these, the price action on these here with these wicks. Yeah. This is extremely bearish price action. This is extremely bearish because the price is being sold. This is massive amounts of selling. You see the volume is increasing, huge amounts of selling. The price is being sold. Yeah. And this is happening at the end, at the peak, at the end of the bull market, the last bull market. So they had high prices at the beginning, all the way up to in November 20, December 20, January 21st. The peak really was of the alt season was the end of March. So that's when the price started to drop, and we had that May crash. So this follows that the alts behaving badly. And then as the price tried to come back up because of the whole alt market and Bitcoin returning back to the all-time high, it was heavily sold into, right? And so something to bear in mind is that when you're selling, someone is buying. Yeah. So naturally, you have a huge amount of volume resistance at this higher value of Uniswap POC that I've marked here, right? So I just want you to bear that in mind. And that basically what's happened is there's a lot of trapped liquidity here, trapped liquidity in this point of control. Yeah. So effectively what that means is that people bought in the last bull market and haven't closed their positions because the people generally don't like to close their positions at a loss. And naturally speaking, when the price returns back to those levels, they will sell at pretty much break even. And so therefore, in order to get through those levels, this is this part of the chart is incorrect. You can just ignore it. Yeah, it's the first part that's interesting because this part, the second part of the chart, doesn't correspond with the correct chart, which is on the left. This is interesting because it tells you that there's a lot of trapped liquidity, increasing volume. It was heavily sold into. Naturally, there's a lot of people who are trapped here, and it's quite significant volume. When I'm looking at the volume, it's not insignificant volume. We're talking like 26 million, 10 million, 14 million, 27 million. Look at these are millions, 78 million. And now looking on the left side, looking at the volume, I'm seeing good volume now, but to clear 78 million, you're going to have to get past this level, you need more volume. You need to clear the liquidity. So there's a lot of trapped liquidity in the highs right now. It's something to bear in mind, and I'm going to use that information to analyze this chart now. So we have, this is the correct chart to use, the Dypius gate chart. If you're going to chart it, use this chart because it has the most information and it has the correct data in the current time frame. And I've got these levels marked out. And so naturally what you can see is that we've had a huge sell-off. We've made an all-time low here. We have an all-time high there. And we are in a range. Yeah, we are range bound. We are range bound between the all-time low, which is the line at the bottom, and the value area high, which is this line here. That's effectively where the price is right now. We're range bound. Okay. And we've had some injection of volume here. See that? And now we have a little bit of volume coming in here at the lows. Okay. There's a lot of trap liquidity on this Uniswap point of control. See that? Uniswap point of control. So that is a very, very, very strong level as far as I'm concerned. And for the price to cross that level, it's going to require a significant injection of volume because of all the trap liquidity in the previous chart, in the old Dypius, in the previous bull market, right? There's something to bear in mind. And so at the moment, it looks like we're in a bearish market structure. We're making lower highs, we're making lower lows, and recently in October we made an all-time low, right? And so it's never bullish to make lows, new lows and new lower highs. So we're still in bearish market structure. We have some volume coming at the lows, but as far as I can see, the market structure is still bearish. It's still bearish higher time frame market structure. And if I was to pull like a simple moving average, like the average 50 on the weekly, you can clearly see that we are in a very strong downtrend. You see that? You see that weekly average? It's heavily pointing downwards, and there's no reason to think that the price is now suddenly going to go to the moon as long as we have a downward momentum with this higher time frame moving average. It's just the way it works. This moving average will have to flatten out. This is going to take a bit of time. So that's something to bear in mind. And then the other thing I can do is I can do a Fibonacci pull from the top to the bottom, and I'm charting on the log chart. So you have to use the log values, right? And naturally, what you can see with this log chart is a couple of things, very important things. Firstly, the golden pocket, which are these two yellow lines, it's the 618 through to the 66, lands precisely corresponds to this Uniswap point of control level. This is unbelievably strong resistance as the price goes up. Unbelievably strong. This whole area is ridiculously strong resistance. And there's no reason to think that the price is going to go through that resistance in one go. This is not going to happen. It's practically impossible, I would say. Yeah, you're going to get this sold into. Yeah, so then the first time this hits, this is going to be heavily sold into simply because it's a major Fibonacci level on the higher time frame. I'm getting a bit of a lag. Sorry about that. A few drop frames, but I'm still here. So that's a massive resistance level because of the higher time frame fib, which is the golden pocket, and also because of the trap liquidity, which is the Uniswap point of control. Yeah, so I think you should bear that. Anyone who's in this should bear that. If they're trading this, you should bear that in mind. Also, we are still making lower lows and lower highs. And so naturally, I think the first thing anyone would want to do is they would want the market structure to change from bearish to bullish on the higher time frame. And I think until that happens, there's honestly a genuine possibility that we make another all-time high and make an all-time low, another all-time low. Like, there's no reason why we can't, this bearishness can't continue. There's no reason. Just because we're in the bull market doesn't mean we can't make another all-time low. There's no reason why you can't make an all-time low. And naturally, if anyone wants to enter this project in terms of buying the token, they will want to enter at the lows, right at the bottom. Yeah, that's where you want to enter, at the bottom. Now, the way to enter safely on the higher time frame would be a change of market structure. And in my opinion, I think you need to flip this level, this 236, into support. You can see clearly here that it was support, and then it kind of became resistance. And here you had a front run of that level. So it's clearly suggesting that this level is some sort of resistance barrier. And so naturally, even if you were to buy now, you pretty much have to sell at 0.064 in that area, pretty much, because you're buying into resistance. you're still going to get a 1x on your investment, but you can also go down 50%. So really it's a terrible place to enter, because you could quite easily go back down to the all-time low, and the greatest risk to reward is going to be catching the all-time low to go back up to that level and to sell into that level to come back down again. That then you can enter at the all-time lows and come up for a 2x or a 200% on your trade. Really, literally, that's going to be the best trade. But there's no reason to think that we're going to continue. We're going to make another a higher high, because we haven't changed that structure. You see all of these highs, lower high, 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 lower high. There's no reason to think that we're going to somehow now suddenly make another higher high. Yeah, this could just go down and make a lower high and continue. It could definitely do that. Just something to bear in mind. All right, just something to bear in mind. Now, I think if people want to safely invest in this, they need market structure to change. And the first sign of market structure to change would be a higher high, right? We haven't had that yet. So what is a higher high? Well, this is your lower low. So this is your lower high. Yeah. Lower high, lower low. So naturally, this high needs to be taken out. We need a higher high like this. Once you take that high out to make a higher high here somewhere, then the price will come back down somewhere. And as long as you don't make a new low, you'll make a higher low. And then as you go back up, if you take out that high, that's your confirmed higher high. So you end up with, this is a lower high. This is your lower low. This becomes your higher high. This becomes your higher low. And this becomes your confirmed market structure change, higher high. Because you've just made a higher high, higher than this previous high, which was your first higher high. In effect, you need two higher highs in a row and a higher low. Once you have a confirmed higher time frame, and I think weekly is the right time frame, once you have a confirmed higher time frame market structure change, then you can enter, basically. Then you can safely start investing into this without the risk of prices making new lows. And in terms of the range, even if you were to catch the second higher high at about that price, obviously you've got big resistance in the way, but the big resistance is already a 4x above you. It's like 400% above you, and all the way back to the all-time high, you're looking at a 44x. Yeah, so this is the safe way to enter, because you can then look to enter along here. Try and trade it back up to the all-time high, and your big take profit, most of your take profit, most, and in my mind I'm thinking 99%, 95% will be here, will be at this major resistance level here. And then the rest of the trade becomes a risk-free trade, because you would have a stop at break even, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah. And if it pushes through, it pushes through. And if it doesn't, then you've already made money on this trade, and the trade is good. Yeah. Now, after you make the first higher high, you could try and catch the higher low. You could try and catch the higher low, but you have to be careful with the higher low, because even though I've got the price, so as far as fibs are concerned, the higher low, if the higher high is up to there, the higher low can come all the way down. As long as you don't make a lower low, you have a higher low. So it's not easy to catch a higher low. It could come all the way down, as long as it doesn't make a lower low. That, as the higher low could be anywhere. Be a small low, it could be a little blip, or it could be a deep high low. Like it's from this higher high all the way down to this lower low. That would be a higher low. Yeah. So for the sake of argument, I've got it roughly at the 50% mark. But reality is, you don't know where the higher low is going to come. Yeah, and usually it will come to back test a previous high. So maybe this and the previous SR flip usually. So maybe the trade for a higher low is this, and you'd have a smaller invalidation. Yeah, and so the idea is that you come in and then go up. You have a small invalidation. Yeah, so this is something to bear in mind, and you could be invalidated, because what would happen is, if there's not enough interest to make a higher low, if you make a higher high but there's not enough interest to make a higher low, you can still go down and make a lower low, and so that you make a new all-time low, and then this higher high becomes your lower high. It changes. It's no longer a higher high. It becomes your lower high, and this lower high is irrelevant. Yeah, that's your lower high, because you've just made a lower low, right? This is how market structure works, and it's an ever-changing playing field. So you have to bear all of this in mind. And the reality is that I wouldn't even get involved in this token until I saw this kind of behavior, because I don't know if this is going to make another low. I don't know. You just don't know. Can't tell. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this behavior that we saw in the previous chart, that I showed us at the beginning, is very bad behavior. This behavior here. Let me just bring it up. There's a lot of questions, I think, that need to be answered by the project, and there's a massive air of uncertainty in my mind to create these kind of candles, to create this kind of behavior. Yeah, this tells me that people sitting on a large portion of tokens were just selling, and naturally a lot of people who were investing were caught off guard, and they ended up in negative equity because of this selling. Okay, and that's not good behavior. So I don't think this is good behavior, and I think that the charts are basically showing us bad behavior, and no one's going to be able to put their finger on it. So there needs to be an explanation as to the why. Yeah, because naturally as an investor, they're going to look at this and go, what's going on? This is going to scare people away. You know, anyone who's going to do a deep dive into the charts is going to be quite scared of this project just by looking at the charts. And I think going forward, if I'm just going to get rid of all of this stuff and put it all into a little folder, so it's good information for the future. Let's just keep it. And then I think what you want is, you obviously want a market structure change, but I think you want a longer consolidation period here. And I think what could probably happen, I'm just kind of, I don't really see us making a higher high at this high value, because I think anyone from where you are now, if you go up to 164%, I think most people will sell, because that's pretty good profit. Yeah, you go up, if you go 1x 100% on your investment now, you're going to sell into that. That's pretty good profit. So it's very unlikely that we're going to get that kind of behavior now. What's more likely to happen is that we consolidate here for a little bit, we make another lower high, come and make a lower low, just get like a tightening range here, and then it'll be a lot easier to make your higher high. Yeah, because you have a lower high to a lower threshold to change market structure. So naturally speaking, as time passes And as the momentum of this downtrend becomes less and less powerful, and actually this weekly chart is still showing a really powerful downtrend. If I was to go to the daily chart, you can see that it's kind of flat now. So actually on the daily time frame it's flat, but on the 3-day chart you can see it's still, there's a little bit of a strong downtrend, and on the weekly chart you've still got a pretty crazy downtrend. It's pretty hefty. Yeah, so I think you want to turn this weekly moving average flat, and naturally what will happen is the price will kind of consolidate here for a while, and the range will tighten until you do get some kind of market structure change in these lows, and then you might see a little rally. Honestly, I don't see this token going back to the all-time high. I just don't see it. I just think there's too much work to be done to change this downtrend and the momentum. There's too many questions to be answered, and I think there's too big a resistance in the way. That's my personal opinion, right? And so I think possibly in because of Bitcoin and because of the bull market, possibly if we are able to turn this downtrend and flatten it out, we're able to get some kind of market structure change here in these lows by next year. Then we might see a rally, and then the rally will probably end there, probably. And I think that will be it. And then what you're seeing then is a lower high on the monthly time frame. That would be a lower high on the monthly time frame. And to all intents and purposes, this project would then be dead, I think. Because if you make a lower high on the monthly time frame, you'll be looking for a low on the monthly time frame. You'll be looking for new lows. Yeah. And then you've got a much harder task of changing the market structure to bullish, because now you're trying to change the market structure to bullish on the monthly time frame. Yeah. And at the moment on the monthly time frame, we haven't made a lower high yet. We've made a lower low, which is this all-time low. But if on the monthly time frame you can't make the all-time high to make a higher high, then on the monthly time frame, you're making a lower high. And then naturally you're aiming for the lows again. That's the monthly time frame, not the weekly time frame. So in the interim, you're trying to change market structure on the weekly time frame to bullish. But the reality is, in this bull market, if you can't change the market structure to bullish by making a higher high, by getting the price back all the way to the all-time high, then you're just making a lower high. And in my mind, I'm thinking that's where you're going to make it. And then everyone will sell, and it will just come all the way back, and there'll be no interest because you've just changed market structure. You've just confirmed higher time frame market structure, and this downtrend will continue. It will just continue until you get some kind of higher time frame reversal. And this could take many years, as long as the project doesn't go to zero. That's basically it. I don't think there's anything more to say about this token. I mean, it's not good news, but I mean, this is the reality. The charts don't lie. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's not much interest. And I think people in the bull market will be looking to make money, and this is not a project that they're going to be able to easily make money off, when there's a lot of other projects that are pumping to the moon and showing a lot of strength and already have massively bullish market structure, or have shown signs of reversal, signs of strength at the lows, and this is not doing any of that now. Yeah, that's basically what. Is there anything else I can say about this? Probably not. I can't really. There's nothing really more to say. You've got some really key levels, and you need to change market structure. All right, so that's the charts. I don't really think I'm going to play this game, Dan. It's 100. I've just downloaded it. 176. I've just downloaded it, but I don't think I'm going to play it now because I just don't think there's any point. because I've just checked the charts out and it's pretty dire. This is it basically. Look, I don't need to play it. I can see it in this video. Look at it. So this is me. It's just an MMORPG that looks pretty empty. Coming super. I don't really know what else to say. You're in a modern world with this ancient helmet and this big axe, this big hammer, big sword, with this no walking sign. Would you play this? Don't really know what there is to do apart from walking around. I think they need a better video. And a magic box. So probably a treasure chest. To be continued. Is there any more videos? Let me have a look. I think that's enough. Let's see what these are. That's pretty much it, really, isn't it? What's that? Look, you've got a modern city with this green dinosaur. Don't know if, I mean, do people sit around their computers and play these games? I think most games are like phone based these days, no? Can you play this on your phone? Oh, it's a good question, no? Or on the PS4 or something. Platform, no, Windows. Instagram. Right, this is it, guys. You don't need to play it. You can literally, if you want to watch it, you can just go onto their Instagram. And this is basically it. This is me. I'm running around. The billboards from the World of Dypians downtown will be used to advertise other projects and products in order to bring revenue to the treasury. That's metaverse, isn't it? Let me see that one. That's you again. World of Dypians. Downtown just got a mind-blowing revamp. I mean, they put so much effort into this game. It's almost a shame, huh? Like, you almost wanted this game to exist 10 years ago, where most people were playing these types of games on their computers, sitting at home in their rooms playing these games. Now everyone's on their phone. So, you know, they're multitasking. They don't really want to be sitting in a room playing these kinds of games anymore. So you almost need to revamp the game to have it on your phone now. So you can play it on your phone all the time now. And then it's like an it's an RPG game, but it's like, and then what is there to do? I don't really know what there is to do. It's quite empty. It's not just running around. They're putting a lot of effort into this, but I'm not convinced. I don't see it.